Hey, here's my tutorial for sounding like this. And I should be over all the butterflies, but I'm into you. From sounding like this.
A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view.
Using an easy technique from beatboxing. Before we start, I want to shout out Roid from the Indian beatbox community. The insight in this video is directly inspired by his vibration bass explanation. I should also mention I'm a complete singing novice, so please listen to me at your own risk. Alright, let's jump into it. The concept. First, a bit of thinking. To better understand the mixed voice, let's ask why you'd want to sing with a mixed voice at all. There seem to be a lot of ideas about this buzzword, but to me, there's one primary reason. What's the easiest way to get a fuller vocal sound? The most common method is to have multiple people sing the same note, which is precisely what we're going to aim for. But wait, I'm only one person is what you might be thinking. Don't worry, that's what this tutorial will shortly explain. Prerequisites. You should know how to neutrally vocalize pitches through your mouth, like when speaking, and know how to hum nasally. I'd also recommend a basic comprehension of singing. If you don't understand how to fundamentally think about singing, for example why beatboxing and singing are essentially the same thing, except instead of drum sounds, the basic units are pitched syllables, please check out my previous tutorial linked in the description. Step 1. Neutrally vocalize a pitch through your mouth. The note doesn't matter too much as long as you're not straining. Step 2. Hum the same pitch through your nose. You should hear and feel a sort of ringing in your nasal cavity or mid-face. Make sure you aren't humming through your mouth. Notice how my nasal hum didn't change when I opened my mouth. You can use this test to check if you're doing the right hum. You do not want this squeezed sort of nasally sick hum. This incorrect one comes from isolating one of the polyphonic voice notes. Step 3. Do them at the same time. Start with the mouth vocalization, then slowly add the hum nasal vocalization without increasing the pressure of your breathing. If you're having trouble, practice smoothly changing between the mouth vocalization and nasal hum. Pay close attention to the muscles involved in the transition. Once you've isolated those muscles, try and lift open the nasal passage without affecting the mouth passage while staying relaxed during vocalization so the air goes through your mouth and nose. This way, your overall voice doesn't become nasally or strained, but you still get the brighter hummed head voice as an additional layer to your chest voice, as if you were two singers instead of one. When you find the right balance for the two vocalizations, you should hear and feel sort of a ringing in your nasal cavity, mouth, and throat. This is a sign of both chest and head voice resonance, one of the main goals of this technique. Not getting a nasally mouth tone while opening up the humming vocalization is critical to proper execution. On the other hand, only opening the nasal passage but forgetting to actually push the hum tone is a common reason for failure. Practice. After understanding how to produce a mixed voice, you should carefully play with the range. Also, slowly and deliberately increase and decrease the pressure of your breathing to get a feel for how much you can push this voice. If you ever hear more breathiness than tone, you've gone too far. While I say this, some of my friends utilize breathiness to make their voices sound fuller when singing. There are some similarities, but the general consensus in the singing community seems to be that breathiness is a sign of air leakage and thus undesirable. I find some of the things they can do pleasant sounding though, so to me, breathiness is just another tool that can be used. Usage. Once you're comfortable producing a mixed voice and finish testing what you can do, it's time to integrate it into your singing. You can now replace the voice you used for some syllables with this voice. Understanding when is up to you. You could do something like, and I'm gonna swing from the chandelier. You should also notice it's way easier to hit high notes. The reason is because by maintaining the humming tone, you preload or buffer like in fighting games the vocal posture needed for falsetto, making transitions much more seamless. For example, and I will always love you. Love you. For comparison, here's my normal transition to falsetto. Versus when I use the technique from this video. Parting thoughts. I feel I should address some existing mixed voice explanations to clear up confusions before wrapping up. No shade at any of these people. Many have great videos and all of them are almost certainly better singers than me. Let's take a look at this video around 8:30 for example.
you're going to notice if you've got things positioned correctly, when you start to push up, you don't break. You are mixing your voices. You are eliminating your break.
To me, the voice he calls mixed voice sounds squeezed and strained. I think what he does would be interesting for accents like vocal fry, but the sound sustain makes me cringe. Further, the explanation for production is hearing descriptive rather than feeling instructive, which I feel overlooks the wide range of differences in natural timbre when pushing a verification-based learning approach. This introduces unneeded complexities in learner hypothesis formulation due to well-known qualitative differences in speaker and listener audio perception. To compare, for this video, the first observation leading to the main idea was how relatively poor singers could do polyphonic voice, and many basses, just as well as singers who were much better. This led to the hypothesis that a large part of vocal quality could be improved by technique alone, unlike range or something more reliant on natural talent. The second observation was how anyone who could do vibration bass, regardless of their singing skill, had significantly fuller bass than people who were much better singers but could only do throat bass. To get vibration bass, we take nasal higher up throat bass, and deeper into the throat bass, whoa, and do them simultaneously at the interval of a fifth. When we combine the last two observations, it's clear why it'd be natural to apply the vibration-based concept to a normal voice in hopes of getting a fuller mixed singing voice. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful and good luck. Let me know if you were able to understand the technique in the comments and subscribe if you want to see more of what distracts me from stuff I should really be working on.